Morgan. I am super excited to be getting this video to you guys. I'm out here Peach Valley. I just came up Eagle Valley Trail and now I am here to get my first impressions of the Shox device. Boom, there it is. There's been lots of comments and things like that on our socials, also on the video of me installing it. If you haven't checked that video out, please do. I show how to install that and all that good stuff. A lot of people are thinking it's snake oil. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be the coolest thing since sliced bread and everywhere in between. Well, I'm here right now to figure out what the heck is going on. So that thing basically is a tuned mass damper. So they use them in big buildings. They've used them in road racing and all kinds of whatever anyway, but they've never ever been used like this for off-road stuff. Nathan Looney with Shox designed this thing. He's got a patent pending on it. It is his deal. It seems like it might be pretty cool. The whole idea of it is that there is a weight or mass or whatever inside here that somehow goes up and down. I don't know how it's mounted. I don't care how it's mounted inside there. But basically, when the wheel hits a rock and comes up, it tries to move the bike up. Obviously, your suspension's doing what it can, but regardless, it's going to eventually move the bike, you know, the front of the bike up. What that's going to do is counteract that down, and then as the wheel comes back down, it's going to counteract that. The idea is it's going to keep the bike from topping out too often, also keep the front end of the bike on a level playing field so that the suspension can work well. Now, I have TBT tuned suspension that is like the best I've ever used in my entire life, so I'm kind of having a hard time thinking that it's going to be much better, but I'm here to find that out. So right now, I'm going to ride Sunset Rocks Trail out here, Peach Valley. It is rated as a difficult trail. To me, it's more of an intermediate trail with a couple little obstacles in it. But the good thing about it, it's got lots and lots of chop. Hard edge rocks. It's got some nasty braking and accelerating bumps. It's just got a little bit of everything. Some big G-outs, everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Shox off right now. I'm going to put it in my pack and I'm going to ride this thing out and back. Then we're going to put it back on. Then we're going to ride out and back, and we're going to talk about whether or not the thing works at all. So obviously I can't have you here with me to feel it, but you guys know I'm an honest guy. I don't really care what anybody thinks about me. I just care about giving you guys good information. So Nathan's a great guy. I really appreciate him giving this for me to test, but I'm going to be honest about his product. So anyway, I just got 4 little Allens to pop this thing off. We're going to take it off, put it in my pack, and then we're going to take off. All right, guys, you can see it's off. Let's go ride. I love this trail. It's a lot of fun. It's not super hard, so you can kind of charge and go fast, which I think is what we need to do. And yeah, we're gonna go do it. We're probably not gonna ride the whole thing. We're gonna ride a good long section of it that has a bunch of braking bumps and stuff like that and hard edge chop. We'll talk a little bit about it as we go. We're gonna turn around, come back to here, put it back on and ride it again. Guys, I think that's going to be a great section to test this thing. So I'm sure you noticed from the video, lots of choppy stuff. There's some accelerating bumps going up those hills. Are going to be braking bumps going down. You know, I'm sure they're put in from acceleration, but they're going to be really good to test heading back as we go downhill, because that's the kind of stuff that catches me, and I end up making mistakes on, because I feel like the bike, if I'm charging down those hills, if I can stay on the gas, I feel pretty in control. But sometimes, you know, it's a little scary. There's a big turn or drop off or rock or whatever. So you get on the brakes, and that's when the thing starts to dance around. I feel like I've got my suspension tuned about as well as I can tune. I've been all over the board, clickers and everything. I feel really good about the suspension. So, and I feel good about those sections even without it, but it's gonna be cool if they can make it better. So anyway, let's head back. Like I said, watch this video, keep an eye on it, and see how it is now, and then we'll put the counter shocks on and we'll come back through it. Here we go. Here's a bunch of these braking bumps. Like I said, this bike handles it pretty darn well already. But if we can make it better, I'm all for it. Alright guys, there it was, out and back. Not the whole trail, but out and back on that section. So let's put the counter shocks back on and do it again. Alright, we got her back on. Let's go do this again. Okay, right there guys, that was a noticeable difference through those sections. I think this thing's working. Okay. Okay. I think it's working. Yeah, so if you watch that video, you can rewind and watch it again. You'll see, I think you'll see, I can feel that the real stuttery, choppy stuff got a lot smoother. The big rocks, the big hits, it's not a huge difference, honestly, but some for sure. Just not giant on that stuff, but in that real, like, kind of sketchy, where I guess I'd describe it as anywhere you would normally feel like your bike gets to feeling dancy, it feels like it plants the front wheel. And it's not like, it's not huge, okay? I've talked to, Nathan, the owner, and a couple other people that have tried it, and, they've made claims like, oh, it's like all the rocks went away, and that's not true. That is untrue. Yeah, sorry, Nathan or anybody else that says that, or that it made all the chatter go away, or that it was a magic carpet, or whatever. That is absolutely patently false. But what it does is it gives me, I think, more confidence charging into that really rough stuff, especially if it's in a turn. When I want to go hard into the turn, but normally I'd kind of slow down just a little bit, check up, and then get on the gas. I feel like I can stay on the gas or off the brakes a little bit longer. So let's go back and see how it is coming down that choppy stuff, like down those accelerating bumps, because I think that should be a really good test also. Anyway, let's do it. Oh, that was the first one right there. Felt pretty good. Got the bigger set coming up here. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's noticeable. Guys, I think it's good. I really do. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a lot of the things that I like on my bike. It's not a huge difference. Like, I love the Mako 360. I love my Showa steering damper, because both of them are just like those things you put on and you don't like immediately go, holy crap, that's amazing. You ride and you ride and you ride and you start realizing, okay, well, I think that does feel better. And then you take them off and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much better that stuff was. So I think this thing's gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be one of those devices that you're gonna kind of forget that it's there, and you're just gonna ride, and then the next thing you know, you're gonna take it off and ride someone else's bike and be like, holy crap, your bike doesn't work that well. I think it's good. One thing I noticed is, like, in that the kind of washboardy braking bumps, it's like the first couple, or the first one or two, maybe one and whatever, the first couple you hit them and it's like same, and then all of a sudden it levels out. And I think it takes that mass just a second to kind of get moving and doing what it's supposed to do, which would make sense, right? Because I mean, it's kind of hanging out there and then it gets hit, and it's like it takes a second for it to, the frequency to tune out what's going on the front. So yeah, first impression, guys, I think it's really good. Make sure you guys, I'll put a link in the description to their website. They're just getting their website up. I know that they were saying they're going to be $350. It sounds like a lot, I know, for, you know, just that. But they're, you're not paying for the parts, guys. You're paying for the brain and the stuff and the tuning and the testing and the R&D that went into it, so that he can actually make a profit and make all that work worth it. So you know, right now, guys, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I want to keep riding with it. I'm not going to tell you guys to go haul off and buy one right now. I mean, unless you want to, go for it. But I think it's good. I have another set of mounts coming, so I can put it on my 300. Then I can swap back and forth between the 125 and 300 and really check it out on that also. But yeah, I think it's good. I didn't really want to believe it, guys, honestly. Again, though, let me be real clear. I don't think this is a replacement for good suspension. I think some people will probably try to tell you that. I don't believe that at all. I think paired with really good suspension, this thing's going to work really well for you. It's not going to eliminate the rocks on the trails. I mean, I've heard that from so many people about so many different things, between, you know, they say mooses do that, they say really good suspension does that, they say this thing does that, the Mako 360 does that. Stop it, guys. None of that gets rid of all these rocks, and I don't think you want to. My personal philosophy on that is, I don't want to feel zero bumps and rocks in the trail, because then I'm losing connection with what's going on. And when you do that, you start making mistakes. I've actually ridden bikes that were a little more plush than mine, so like set up really, really soft to be really, really plush. And when you're going slow, it feels great, but I just can't feel the ground underneath the bike, and I kind of get all crazy and skatey and you know, whatever, argue what you want about that. But I like to know there are rocks there. I just don't want them to hurt, right? I guess, yeah, that's my philosophy on suspension. I want to know that the bumps and the rocks are there. I just don't want them to hurt. So anyway, there you guys go. First impression, counter shocks, thumbs up from me. Yeah, we're gonna keep testing them. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're just here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna beat on this thing. If it ever fails or I decide that it's not worth it, I will let you guys know first. 100%. So anyway, I'm gonna go for a ride. See you later.